Congratulations, Jesper. First of all, I mean, it was quite a controlled performance from start to finish. Not perfect, but played well, kept a clean sheet, got some of your key players some restful minutes as well. You must be happy with how that played out tonight.
Yeah, of course I'm happy with the way it played out. I think we made things difficult for ourselves a week ago, and also today I think that I liked a lot from the players in there what I saw, but also a little bit concerning that we were not sharper when we had the big chances, because we had some very big opportunities. Some of them we turned into chances, but some of them we should have turned into chances. We didn't, and but we are a team in a learning progress as well, and we just needed to. I thought that we should have finished this game off earlier on, and then in the end they had this header on the crossbar that might as well have been turned into a goal. So I think overall performance, I think that we were over the two games the better team, and I think we deservedly went through, even though it was a difficult opponent. But I would have liked this game to be over a little bit before, to be honest.
You've had the experience in the Conference League before, obviously, with Brøndby. What have you made of your first CONCACAF experience?
That everything is difficult. That's just how it is. Playing away against a good team in a difficult place where they have also a great atmosphere, and also that things can tip very quickly in games like this. And there's not much room for mistakes or errors over two games. Last week we played well in most parts of the game, but all of a sudden it tipped, and we came away with the loss. This week we could have put the game away but didn't, and all of a sudden we could have been out. So it's charming and it's frustrating the same way, right? But that's what football is about, right? It's you never know until the game is over.
Jesper, what do you make of Brian White's night? He obviously had both goals, but it seemed like he created a little bit as well. Can you talk to us about what you saw from him tonight?
Very strong performance. I've seen it all through. I think today it was special with the goals, of course. Brian, as an attacker, will always be measured up upon how many goals he scores. That's how it is. And to me, he's just a player that brings the team so many different things. He was very well in the build-up. He was very strong when we needed him to be. He's also the first hard-working guy in the pressure, and two goals always makes things special when you win 2-0, and I think that he played a very good and had a strong performance.
Can you talk to us about what was going through your head during that stretch where Saprissa really came on strong in the final moments there?
I think that we were sloppy when we had the opportunity. We didn't really know if we needed to attack or we needed to protect the 1-0 lead. I think we played a little bit inaccurate in the last 10 minutes there, where we could have kept the ball and make the pitch a little bit bigger, switching over the middle a couple of times. But then we kept it to the side and got caught in some pressure situations, and then it's very normal that when you have a 1-0 lead and you know that if the opponent scores, then you get a little bit nervous and starts maybe to protect the 1-0 lead too much. And they also just let everything go. And that's how it is. They will go with everything they have, of course, in the end. But apart from the header, I think that we were good, to be honest. But I didn't feel comfortable when they had the corners in the end. I think they had 2 or 3 in the end. So that's what happens when you keep things open. You have to close the door behind you.
You picked a very interesting starting 11, which kind of gave you an opportunity to bring experience on in the second half, particularly like Gold and Kubas. Your thought process in terms of that approach for tonight, and was it with the LA Galaxy game on the weekend in mind as well?
We're now in a schedule where we just started out the season. We're 1 week into the season, and we already played 3 games. A week from now, we have played 5. So I need to make sure that we are not over have overload of some key players early in the season. It will be a long season. A player like Ryan will most probably play national games as well, when some of the other players have a day off or two. So it's simply to start out the season well. Also because I think that from what I've seen a lot of players really show up and do well. Ralph has been doing well in the preseason, and I think also that we saw Jaden the other day. Ali has been very good. So I also want to see other players and get other players into the mix, because we cannot only play with 10, 11 players. That's not possible. Then all of a sudden the whole team will fall apart at the same time, and then you have to rely on players that are not used to playing. So we need to get more players into the mix, and I think that was an opportunity today.
And you mentioned with Prizo, but also with Utvik, you were able to get him into the game. Seemed they really put in good shifts today, both of them especially.
I think both of them did very well. It's always difficult when you haven't had that rhythm going, because looking back, the last time they played long minutes in a game was, forever ago, I would say, because in preseason the most of the play was a half, right? So now they need it also in a game where a lot was on stake. I think we needed to go through this one, and I think they did very well, both of them. Björn had been out with illness the last week, a week and a half, and then he came back, obviously tied in the end. Ralph as well did well, and obviously I thought that he looked a little bit tired. We could put Andres in to replace him as well. So I think it was, I think that they did very well, and it only gives me even more options to try and also to rely on. So I think it was very good seeing.
We'll go to Hart next.
Congratulations on your first win at BC Place.
Thank you.
I'm wondering, what are your early thoughts on CF Monterrey in that matchup next week, because there's going to be more CONCACAF games to come?
I have no thoughts of them at all. I don't know them. I will start looking into how they play, and that's just how this is. I'm not familiar with many teams in the MLS. Most of them I have studied for the last month, and I'm definitely not familiar with many teams in Mexico, but I will try and get familiar with them in as fast as I can. So the games will be exciting, I think, and I hope that we can progress as well.
Now, you are familiar with Ali Ahmed. What did you make of his game tonight? He had a lot of chances.
Ali is a player that, if he scored on all his chances, would not play here. So that's also a thing. He's also a player that is a late bloomer, and has a lot of good individual qualities. I think he's been very good in the preseason. I think he played very well in Saprissa, and today I also think that he participated with a lot. And of course, I would also have loved for him to make a goal, because that would have built on confidence for him as well. Could he have scored two, as I can see that you think he should? Yeah, then it would have been magic. But just to get over that hump, scoring a goal, I think would have been nice. But I saw him do it in preseason games, so I think that I'm not worried about that. I think that he is doing very, very well.
Jesper, you were talking about how there are some points where the players were getting a little sloppy on the ball, giving Saprissa chances, getting them back into the game. Do you think it's a case of maybe just old habits dying hard with some of them being used to playing a bit quicker, trying to force those quick plays through?
No, I would not say that. I would say that sometimes when you have a 1-0 lead and you're near the end, then you really don't know when you're attacking, if you want to attack that much, or you get a little bit in that. We get it a little bit in between, I would say. So some of the players were attacking, some of the players were protecting, and that's what happens often when you're in late situations where you know that you're balancing in the end towards going through and getting out. So I think, and then of course tiredness and the mental things about the score and stuff, I think was more into it.
And then you mentioned also getting a little nervous from corners. it seemed like you were employing a bit of like a hybrid defending system in off corners there, having some center backs marking the space and leaving players like Sebastian Berhalter dealing with Kendall Waston on that opportunity. Did you ever feel like you wanted to change things up, especially after the crossbar, or did you want to stick to how you were defending in the box there?
In general, I think we have been defending very, very well these situations. But of course, we had extra focus on Kendall Waston. He deserves that. On situations like that, he's extraordinary in these situations. We needed Sebastian to have a man orientation and contact, making sure that he couldn't get to the ball in full speed. It managed one time, and also the ball, the cross was good. And then we needed some of the other guys to be ready to go for the ball, because we would not take one of our best headers and allocate him on Kendall if he couldn't manage anyways. Then we would try to take Sebastian and make him slow him down for the run in, and then we can attack the ball with the other headers. But that's always a strategy. Sometimes it works out well, and sometimes it doesn't. But the strategy we have, I think, will be the one we'll stick to over the course of the season. And then sometimes you meet players that simply are extraordinary in one field of the game, and he was. One of the things we could have done was prevented them from getting corners.
Hi, Jesper. I wanted to ask you something you had said earlier about wishing you had put the game to bed a little bit earlier. How much did that desire play into your initial substitutions that you made, especially bringing on Gauld when you did, and a few of the others?
We just, when you're in a game, you just do what you think is most important for winning that game and getting that result. On the other hand, you also have a little eye about going further than just the 90 minutes because of the schedule we have, and we are so early on in the season. It was not completely planned about the substitutions, but some of it was, and I think that sometimes you also have to keep a little bit cool and have trust in the players on the pitch because you selected them. So that's how it is, and then if you have a plan, there might be a reason for it, and then you stick to that. You cannot plan everything in football; that's impossible. But I think it was okay.
Jesper, you mentioned the quick turnaround. How are you going to prepare for LA Galaxy coming here on Sunday?
Of course, we know about Galaxy and where they are right now. We saw the game last week, and we have seen it again. And the thing is that we play the style we play, and that's what we need to be good at if we want to be a good team. So we'll prepare on the special things that we would like to do against Galaxy, but also go out and seek to play the way we want to.
Steering away a little from tonight's match, you say you're still a student of the game. What have you learned so far from your time with Vancouver?
I've learned that group dynamics is important. We have a very good group. I knew that, I think, on beforehand, but it only strengthened my belief in a group together with great cohesion can do some good things together. The players in Vancouver are very hardworking and very ambitious and determined to try to get better every day. And of course, that's a good thing to know as a coach. But also that there's a lot of traveling in this league, and that you have to take care of that, because I know that playing in then we go to Mexico, that it should be like just playing any other game, but it isn't. It's completely different conditions. We played in Costa Rica under some conditions, played in Portland under completely different conditions, and then went back. So I learn every day I'm here, and that's just the beauty of it, I think.